Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the F1 2025 My Team Career. We are headed to round 21, which is the Brazilian Grand Prix. So only a few races left to go before the end of season one. And it's going to be a tricky one because it is a sprint weekend. We have rain in the sprint qualifying, but it looks to be pretty dry, it would appear, the rest of the way through. Let's see if they've got more details in the weather. Yeah, it's going to be dry the rest of the way. The interesting thing that makes it even more tricky, though, is it rained in practice. So I only got about 2 laps of dry running in the only practice session, which means I have no idea what tire wear is going to look like, no idea what fuel usage is going to look like. So we're kind of going in blind. The sprint is really going to be a learning opportunity, I think, of the best chance of it for us. But let's see how the weather handles with the rain coming down in sprint qualifying first.
It's a Saturday showdown. Anyone fancy some hot laps around Interlagos? It's qualifying day here for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix.
All right, so here we are out on the circuit, full X-wet conditions. So not even inters, which is the only tire we got to run during practice was the intermediate. So we're kind of, fully exploratory at this stage. And so far, that's not going particularly great. Lots of wheel spinning to start off the lap here. But let's see what we can do on our way down to turn 1. Very tricky to get around this circuit with the rain coming down as it is. We've just about survived the first sector and kept the car on the track. Not a lot of front end bite in the current conditions either. Boy, is the rear of the car just dancing around like crazy. We're so far off the pace, though. Doesn't seem like there's going to be any change to the weather condition over the course of this qualifying session, which is already over half done. Just 7 minutes left to go in it. There's a good time improvement found through the first 3 corners. So we found just about a second on that lap, but you can see we're already very much under pressure from a car behind. Alright, so here we are in a very, very busy out lap. We are, you know, sitting provisionally last, but we're going to go ahead and gamble. We've put on the inner tires. Engineers said the track rain is lightening up. Track does look to be getting a little bit of a line to work with. We should be able to get 2 flying laps in. Are the intermediates, you know, a functioning tire for this? First foray into the braking zone, not so good. Track's still just a little too wet, I think. We're just going to miss out on getting another lap in. Checkered flag is out, and we are starting dead last. Inters were not the right gamble there. Full wets were still the tire, even though there were some spots where it felt okay.
And that's it for sprint qualifying. Plenty more coming up over the rest of the weekend. So we'll see you all tomorrow.
Yeah, you're a long way off even the next car, so... Well, we'll see if we can get it back during the race. Sprint isn't going to be worth a whole ton of points to us.
So it's all about speed in today's sprint. Not very many laps and no chance to get ahead on strategy. Who here today has the raw skill to take them to the top? We're racing today then at Interlagos, a historic 2.7-mile circuit and one of the few anti-clockwise tracks on the calendar. 15 corners in total, 9 to the left and 6 to the right, with a technical middle section opening up to a flat-out Sector 3. That gives us our best passing opportunity down into Turn 1. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Hamilton, Alex Albon, and Norris, Piastri, Antonelli, Gasly, and Yuki Tsunoda, Russell, Bortoletto, Joshua Pierce, and Fernando Alonso, Lawson, Ocon, Jack Doohan, and Lance Stroll, Behrman, Hulkenberg, Hadjar, and Victor Martins rounds off the grid. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out. And alongside me today is a man who needs no introduction, but I'll try anyway. It's Ant Davidson. Well, we celebrated their first appearance on the grid. Let's look back now at what has been a really good first season for our new team.
Yeah, they've made it through the entire season in Formula One, Crofty. No mean feat at all. And they've learnt a lot this season. They can take that knowledge into next year to hopefully have an even better season.
Okay, let's try not to worry about being down here at the back. You've got the speed, you've got the car, so just take it easy and the race will come to you.
Okay. Let's just start on +2 laps even so we can get at least a gauge of how the fuel burn is. And we're on. All right, here come the 5 red lights from last place on the grid. Pretty long hold of the red lights. I actually almost jump-started. My clutch finger twitched just a little, not enough to release it, but there was definitely a neuron firing. Thinking about letting that clutch go. just chuck the car up the inside, make them get out of the way. Definitely feels better to be driving in the dry than it does in the wet. Definitely look to be at a bit of a straight line disadvantage, as we have often been throughout the season. That's a little deep there. Didn't quite account for the overspeed the right way. Usually something that you figure out during qualifying in the dry, but considering how moist it was. I'll give him the same treatment as we gave on lap 1. All right, we're now right behind our teammate, which is decent progress. But then we lock up on the way into turn 1. They don't quite get alongside us, so we're able to survive that, but now we've really got to go on the move here, because he is going to have a run. They're fighting in front of us. Come on, Joshua, get a move done here. There we go. He did not get out of the way on that one. He shut the door. Credit to him on that one. However, we are right up under his gearbox. We should have pretty easy to move past. We do need to try and catch up to our teammate, though. We're going to be in a little trouble here. I do not have the braking zone sorted in the dry for turn 1 yet. I may be a little too far back on brake balance. Maybe that 54 is a little too far off the rear. See if we can make up the time we need in the middle sector with the downforce that we're running. So we're going to be just outside of DRS range from our teammate this time. And Bortoletto's got quite the run. I think he gets by us easily on this one. No need to fight this. Yellow flags ahead. Albin out of the session, and then immediately a Mercedes blowing up. So 2 cars out just like that, real quick. Antonelli. Turn 1 braking zone just feels bad. Feels so low grip on the front axle compared to previous years. There's our 3-second time penalty. That's fine. I just need to kind of learn my way around the track in the dry here. Hopefully we can qualify better than P22. Although, considering it doesn't really feel like we've got turn 1 figured out, that's probably going to be a huge time loss area in the qualifying session. And we touched the grass and really ruined our race now. That's fine. Don't think we quite have the run we need. Sending it up the inside. Late on the brakes, he leaves the space. We're on the battery here as well. I think we should be able to sweep. We have the better downforce. Now it really comes down to what kind of exit we can get out of Jinsao. He is going to get one little blast of DRS to attack with. Obviously, in the total scheme, it doesn't matter because I have that 3-second penalty. But, I don't know, 12 laps, tires just about held on. It's going to be an interesting strategy choice.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
So with the sprint concluded, join us next time for qualifying. And of course, the main event, this weekend's Formula One Grand Prix. We'll see you next time.
The question becomes, how was pace? We had top 10 pace in the 109.8s. I don't think we're getting much further than top 10, but we do have top 10 potential as far as pace goes. So maybe we can score some points. What's the overall standings looking like right now? Verstappen, just 39 points the advantage over Leclerc. Ferrari's 38 points the advantage in the constructors. We are clear of Williams, but only by 7 points, so we do need some results to make sure we keep them at bay.
It's a Saturday showdown. Anyone fancy some hot laps around Interlagos? It's qualifying day here for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix.
Alright, here we go. Grand Prix qualifying. Full dry track, soft tires on. Let's see if I can learn how to drive. And most importantly, if I can learn how to brake into turn 1. Okay, not terrible. Could still hear the chirping of some slightly unhappy tires. Use as much of the track as we dare there. Now it's all about battery recovery in this section of the circuit. The front left tire got very, very unhappy. Okay, so maybe we need to save some on the runs between turns 4 and 5. A pretty poor last showing. We're provisionally slowest again, this time in the dry, so let's see if we can push a little bit harder. We're still on the same set of used tires. And see what we can or can't find over a lap here. A little slower entry through the Senna S's. We do get a little better exit, but it's pretty nip and tuck. Tried to go a little deeper on the brakes that time. Definitely not the move. We lost out. Saving a little battery deployment so we can have it down the main straight. Trying to find the places where I can and can't hustle the car a bit more. So we are going to find a little bit of time on this lap. Better Sector 2. I think there's room for solid improvement. But that does only get us to P21. Alright, here we go. Our last chance to suck a bit less. We've been shuffled down to last again. So we've got some work to do. Let's try and save. Considering the run from the line to turn 1 is so short, I don't know that using a ton of battery on the lead up is particularly useful. Let's get to like 200 miles an hour and then we'll just go in. Maybe we'll have a little more battery at the end of the lap to deploy. Time found through the first 3 corners. Now let's get this one clean. Just a little wide. The car understeered and skated off. And that will be it. So last place starting position for us in the Grand Prix as well. Just a little bit of understeer while getting on the power, and once you kind of touch that curb, pushed me out wide. So that is the end of this one. I'll see you guys on the grid, I guess. Hamilton puts it on pole ahead of Russell Verstappen, only starting 3rd. Our teammate got it only into 19th, so we only ended up 3/10 off of our teammate, and we definitely had that time in the final session. But of course, you got to execute. So I guess damage control. We'll see what we can do strategically. Maybe we can do something clever.
Welcome along then to where heroes and history are made. It's where the 2008 title was decided in the very final corner. And just 1 year later, Jenson Button stormed through from 14th on the grid to claim his one and only Drivers' Championship. It's time then for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. It's an unusual anti-clockwise race here at Interlagos, where the Sao Paulo locals are packed into the grandstands at each of the 15 corners around this classic 2.7-mile circuit. 2 very fast sections bookend the famous and highly technical Sector 2, where getting a good run out of Junsao into one of the 2 DRS zones will be key to any overtaking prospects today. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, just ahead of George Russell, who starts this event from P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Verstappen, Piastri, Lando Norris, and Fernando Alonso, Albon, Leclerc, Gasly, and Lance Stroll, Hadjar, Ocon, Nico Hulkenberg and Lawson, Pierce, Behrman, Jack Doohan and Victor Martins, Sonoda, Sainz, Bortoletto and Andrea Kimi Antonelli rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. And alongside me today, a man small in stature but big on comment, Anthony Davidson. Hello. And let's talk momentum with this driver. What a sprint it was. They start at 0 once again for today, but with a huge amount of confidence, surely. Well, they'll definitely be glad that there's not a sprint race today. Let's face it, the sprint couldn't have gone much worse, but what we're looking for today is a reaction. Interlagos, always one of my favourite weekends of the season. Love Brazil, adore this track.
Absolutely spot on, Crofty. I wish you could pick this circuit up and place it, copy-paste it on multiple different locations around the planet, because it is sensational to watch, sensational to drive. And for all these drivers here in Brazil, it's a great time to get stuck into this Interlagos circuit. It's an anti-clockwise track, lots of important corners to get right, and it's a track where you can make or lose an awful lot of lap time.
I know you're frustrated to be this far back on the grid, but you've got to keep that under control. Keep a cool head and work your way through the field gradually as you go. It's not all going to be won or lost at the first corner.
And we'll go for the two-stop. We'll try and make some early positions, kind of undercut and put ourselves in a position. If we score points, amazing. Otherwise, I'm not expecting a whole lot from this race, but let's get to it. All right, here we go. 5 red lights are up. Kind of boxed in the middle 3 wide here. No real opportunity to try and make any ground on that one. With these two going side by side in front of us, it's going to get... Ooh, little touch as he shut the door on me there. He kind of drifted out wide. I was expecting him to kind of stay out there, but he swung back to the inside. I don't know where he had the grip to do that. Okay, get up the inside of Doohan there. Up into 16th, so up 2 spots. Looks like our teammate has made some positions as well, so pretty good start for him. And this is exactly what we don't want to see happening ahead of us. There's a side-by-side battle that's kind of on the fringes of the points. And that's really causing them to kind of lose touch with the cars ahead. We kind of need, at this early stage, a DRS train that we can kind of pick our way through one car at a time. Bit of a lock up there. Made things interesting into the braking zone of Junsao. Joshua's going for a move on Isaac Hadjar ahead. Give him a little pinch to the apex. Now we'll get that moved on. We did spend a lot of battery to get that job finished. So we are going to need to recover quite a bit of it here in this middle sector. Of course, here comes the balancing act. It looks like Isaac is probably has the chance of losing DRS to our teammate, which would make him a little bit more of an option down in turn 1. Yeah, he's a little bit off him. And so we'll want to use this opportunity to get through and kind of use the extra speed of the DRS to maybe close up that little bit to our teammate, although it looks like Hydra is pretty quick in a straight line here. DRS open for Hajar. This is definitely going to be a defense situation for us. Get to the inside, squeeze him out. Definitely cost us time. But we've got clean air on our nose for the first time in a while. Good run out of Junsao will get us out of, or get Hajar out of our DRS for the time being. He's got better straight line speed, so he'll probably close up to within 1 second by the time we hit turn 1. Okay, we've moved the brake bias. Let's see how the car performs on the way. Yeah, a lot more stable on the braking there. 4.6. Does he have DRS? He does. We're on our target pit lap.
Right, let's have you in at the end of this lap, please.
Boxing opposite of Joshua. He stays out, we come in. I don't want to get caught in a double stack situation with him, so we're going to come in the lap earlier, see if we can't maybe undercut him. Bad stop. Every time I need it, I had a bad stop. A good stop would have been the difference between coming out ahead of these two cars or behind them.
Joshua's coming in for his stop.
I'm thinking we probably would have had an okay opportunity for the undercut with a good stop too. He's just getting rolling out of the pit lane now. Okay, that was a total fire it in on the anchors kind of maneuver. Yeah, we've got right around that same gap, the 2.7-ish gap to Joshua, considering we lost. We may not have been overtaking him, but we would have been probably within DRS of him. Okay, I need to get the move done on this lap because I believe Lawson is going to have DRS from the car in front of him. If we don't, Alex is out. Had to lift out. Because of the yellow flags. It would have been an illegal overtake if I made it past him right there. So, a little bit of a lift of the throttle to make sure that we didn't pass him too soon. And maybe a little bit of a clean air defense, but wanted to make sure of it. Driver in front.
Doing ahead. Okay, so gap to the car ahead, 1.3 seconds. They're on old mediums. Okay, their tyres are 7 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Time last lap, 1 minute 12.7. You're gaining by 2 seconds a lap. Amazing.
Okay. That was a big battery spend to get that move done. Another move it or lose it kind of situation. Driver in front.
Okay, Sainz is ahead of you, and the time last lap, 1:11.0. We think
roll
they've
contact.
got one more stop.
That wasn't exactly what I was trying to do, but it's going to work out a little bit. Get hot lap engaged again. Oh no! Oh, come on! Right now? Lost battery. Be a pretty easy drive pass for him. Okay, there we go. Battery's back. Not a moment too soon. And we lost about 1.5 seconds total, plus the position. Good timing for him to peel into the pits. First warning. Driver behind. Driver behind.
Sonoda behind. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Their tyres are 6 laps old. Time last lap, 1 minute, 11.7.
Okay, Sonoda is on a one stop as well. So we are like for like as far as tire strategy goes. And that Red Bull definitely looks quicker. Yeah, he's closing up on me pretty quick. Come out 19th if I take the extra stop, so we're just going to stay out. My goal is to keep Sonoda behind me for now. He's going to get me down the pit straight, without a doubt. But then it turns into the just follow him and his DRS. We are losing ground to our teammate now. Let's tuck in, see if Sonoda can drag us towards Joshua here. Keep it in the hot lap mode, gives us some good pace in the middle sector. We are still net charging the battery under hot lap mode. We're finishing a lap with more than we did the lap before, so I think while we're not going to charge the batteries fast, I still think it's a viable solution. But this has been a moderate attrition day. 2 red cars out. I guess I'm thinking back to the sprint. Gosh, look at him get off the car. He's just got so much launch off Jinsao compared to me. Here we go, getting ready to start the final lap of this race. Gasly on the 2-stop had taken a considerable chunk of time out of us. Was taking about a second a lap. Antonelli's gotten back by, and Antonelli's charging, so we need a good final lap. We can't really make mistakes. The rear end is very troubled. I think the idea is if we can keep him out of DRS for the final straight, we should be okay. .3 is the margin. We've typically been decent in the middle sector compared to the other cars, but it's going to be close. It's all about what that timer says when we cross the DRS detection. 1.1 at the moment. It's going to be very close. He might actually just get inside DRS, but I think we just do it. It's close. It's basically right there, but we've got enough of a gap. He's not going to get to us before the line. We've got battery to burn, so we recovered to a P9 finish, double points for the team.
All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
The checkered flag is out. We're going to be hearing that Dutch national anthem again because it's victory for Max Verstappen.
Well, another race victory today. You could clearly see they're driving out there with very little pressure. You know they have the performance. They know they've got the car under them as well. And this has done no harm, of course, for their championship chances.
It's what they've all been racing towards, waiting for them. High above the pit lane is our podium. And for the lucky three, it's time to stand on it. But there can only be one on the top step. Your number one, Max Verstappen. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out? Be sure to join us once again as we continue to bring you all the excitement of Formula One.
Verstappen with a maximum weekend. Yeah, almost 10 seconds out in the lead. That's huge pace from him. It looks like Pierre Gasly was the highest finishing two-stopper. Most of the rest did not make any ground for the two-stop. We made some significant ground on the strength of the one-stop. So did Joshua, though. Really good drive from him for the double points finish for the team. Standings-wise, where does that put us? That keeps us at 73 points ahead of Williams. Carlos Sainz, and got us now over, was that 15-point margin to Williams for P5 in the Constructors. So, overall, decent weekend, tough sprint, but the Grand Prix did score us some valuable points. Only the 1 point all weekend, it looks like, for the Williams team, as Alex Albon did not score. Always with the damage. Always with the damage. Fan sentiment getting close to that fan rating 3. Neutral sentiment overall, so no bonus Jonas. That's fine. I'm not too worried about that. Ooh, lots of failures. That's not good.
Hey, Chief. We've got multiple parts out of research. Don't forget to develop them.
Okay.
We've got performance sitting on the table that we could be
ERS
getting into
fault.
the car.
Yeah, that didn't help us, but I mean that was small potatoes over the course of the race, honestly. Kind of outperforming our chart position compared to Williams. Ooh, we finish up some engineering. Aero breakthroughs done. What do we got for facility improvements? Dual development is nearly finished, but that means we can start doing level 2 stuff. I don't care that much about the research points right now. I think the big one is... let's get our... let's get some breakthroughs going. I think we need an aero breakthrough. Do I have aero? No, okay. Do we even... Okay, powertrain breakthrough. Let's buy a powertrain breakthrough. Okay, we can finally do some... for here, so let's get phase 2 rocking there. Pit crew training, let's keep that going. And those are still a ways off. So research. We've got our next tier of research available to us. So let's start with, let's keep front downforce going. Oh, actually, before I get too far into the weeds of that, I should look at development because I do have, yes, this is the important part, is redevelopments for next year. So we will hold off on any new aero stuff. Ooh, double failure in durability of all places is where it fails to. Oh, there we go. Oh, am I out of money? Oh, I'm out of money. Okay. Good to know. Why are you telling me about upgrades? I have no upgrades to assign. Whatever. Okay. So let's go back to activities. Oh, we got a decent amount of time, so let's keep the recruitment drive going. I'm not really going to be able to spend any more money, though. So let's do an aero development blitz. Can't afford any of those. Well, maybe I can. I don't know. Let's put it on. Let's put them on the docket, and if we go negative, we go negative. Right? Sure. Yeah, let's get some money being generated, though. Okay, I think it's mostly fine. And there's some inbound cash. Insufficient funds,
Hey,
not a big
boss,
surprise.
What do you make of this?
What do we got? Personnel facility. No internal conflicts. Be nice. Okay, so we got some
Chief,
money on the
I must remind
board.
you that we have parts fully researched that are waiting for development. Let's get that performance on the car.
Okay, anything else we need messages-wise? Cash flow critical, that's fine. Yeah. We're not going to spend any more money the rest of the year. We're just going to keep banking it. And that'll be the end of that one. But Las Vegas up next, the Upside Down Pig, which is all about straight line speed, so who knows how that's going to go. Straight line speed looks to be slightly better compared to the AI, but it still is a strong point for them. But I will catch you guys at the next race. Y'all have a good one. Peace.